Hi everyone, good morning. In the interest of time, so let us kickstart today's panel discussion. Welcome everyone. Good morning everyone, and thank you for joining. Thank you for making your time to be here. So as you all know, July is all about Disability Pride Month, right? So this is the month where we kind of actively showcase our kind of like achievements, and again, so whether it's a big or small, right, every challenge will always have a solution, and every problem will always have a solution, and every small thing or a big thing is always an achievement for when it comes to people with disabilities. And so this month is all about Disability Pride Month. And this was actually started in the year 1990 by American as part of the birthday of American Disability Act. And since then, globally it has been celebrated, and again, a lot of engagements happen during this month from people with disabilities, sharing their journeys, sharing their success stories, challenges at the same time. So how did they come up with solutions for their challenges, right? And so every disability is unique, every person is unique, and so what kind of stories they have, what kind of journeys they have, right? So let us kind of hear from the leaders today. And so we have interesting panel members today. And so we have Ananth Vaisht, we have Justin Anthony, and Sandeep Kanabar. So thank you for making your time to be here, and agreeing to share your journeys with us. And I'll start off with introducing Ananth. So Ananth will be today's one of the panelists, as well as a moderator for today. So he'll be kind of moderating the entire discussion with Justin and Sandeep. So I'll start off introducing Ananth, and then I'll hand it over to Ananth. So Ananth Vaisht is a computer science engineer, an entrepreneur, a tech consultant, content creator, TEDx speaker, a singer, and a proud son of his parents. So he's a specially abled person, a person with orthopedic multiplex congenital syndrome. So where his muscles and the bones are a bit weak, but he never took this on his mentally, but always made his weakness into his strength. From his childhood, he always wanted to become a computer engineer, and he came with a lot of hard work. So when he was in class 12th, he made his aim to become an entrepreneur, and now he's running 3 startups and mentored more than 50. So thank you, Ananth, for being here. And over to you.
Thank you so much, Krishna. Thank you. And good morning, everyone. And as Krishna said, I'm a computer science engineer by profession, and also a founder and CEO of EUPHELITY Private Limited, where I have an application by the name of the Special School, where I am working towards the education for persons with disability, specifically to children, with in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. So today I'm very thankful to Giftable that they have given me this opportunity to moderate this session, that empowering voices, disability pride and advocacy panel. For today, we have two remarkable speakers with us, Justin Anthony and Sandeep Kanabar. So let's start by getting to know them better. So first we have Justin Anthony is a seasoned human resource executive with a proven track record in talent planning, HR, business partnering, talent acquisition, organizational development, and business operations with more than 20 years of experience, and is working towards mastering sign language. So welcome, Justin, for the session. Next, we have Sandeep Kanabar, a senior principal software engineer at Gen with over 10 years of experience. He specializes in cloud and distributed system on Azure, AWS, and GCP. He's a technology guy. Sandeep co-leads the global chapter of Thrive ERG, which actively works for people with disability. Despite having sensorineural hearing loss from the age of 14, Sandeep has excelled in the field, received multiple awards, and has been a speaker at international conferences. So thank you so much, Sandeep, and welcome for the session. So today, We'll start with a very important question, and we'll start from Justin, that as a global leader with a disability, like what strategies have you found most effective in overcoming workplace challenges? So, Justin, what do you think about it?
Okay, thank you, Ananth, and thank you to the team for calling me in today and giving me an opportunity, first of all. To answer your question, Ananth, so what happens is, what I look at is for leadership support in any organization.
Hmm.
That's the basic stuff. If you have it, running in an organization, if there is leadership support on strategies that are running in line with people with disability and all that stuff, you get a lot of engagement, right? Second one, what I feel is, uh, everyone should be an advocate, or I
Yep.
would say an ally to the disabled community. So that will take it a long way. Next comes, I mean, this comes from my HR background. It should also have a culture
Yep.
where employees like us feel safe. Many of them in my discussions, my conversations, come out and say they're not safe to disclose their disability. People like me, people like you all, or at least I know two, three of you over here, are visibly disabled. So it is easy to understand. There are many, many in this world who are disabled invisibly. They have some disability, but they're not willing to come out and tell. So unless you give them a space to come out openly and talk about it, people will not come. So that goes talking about the culture that we build in an organization, give an opportunity.
And I totally agree with your point that many disabilities are invisible, especially when we talk about the depressions and any apart from that things. So it is very important to give them the wellness. And I think now the organizations like CGI or and other organization, many MNCs are working towards the wellness of the people. So it is very good that we are aware of it and we are doing the stuff. So Sandeep, a question for you that like what do you think, what are some common misconceptions about hearing impairment that you like to dispel? And I think you are the best person in this panel who can explain to us. Over to you, Sandeep.
Uh, so, Anand, to answer your question, let me begin with a personal story. When I was 6 years old, I got affected with severe fever that impacted my brain nerves. Overnight, I got very high power in the eyes and I slowly began to lose my ability to hear. The hearing loss was so slow and gradual that no doctor could detect it. It was only when I was in class 10, about 15 years old, that the doctor told me that I have an incurable sensory neural hearing loss and I'm lip reading. So I used to sit on the first bench in school and I had learned the art of lip reading on my own without even knowing what is lip reading.
Hmm.
So lip reading is the art of following what others speak by reading the lip movements. So my life changed overnight with this. Uh, my engineering was very challenging. And then getting a job post engineering was nightmarish because no one was willing to hire a person who cannot listen over the phone. The only question I would get asked was, how will I talk to clients over the phone? So my hometown is in Somnath. It's a temple town near the Arabian Sea in Gujarat. And from there, I went all the way to the city of Chennai, a, a warm city with very beautiful and warm people. And the company was leisure shop. It was very open to hiring people with disabilities, and the CEO took my interview in what turned out to be the shortest interview of my life. And he said, "You have come all the way from so far. Just welcome to Leicester." So I began my career there like 2 decades back, thousands of miles away from my home, where neither climate nor food suited me. But I was blessed to have a truly wonderful manager. And whatever I am, I still owe it to my first manager who lifted me on his shoulders. So he sent me to client places alone, and he said, "I'll back you up." So that built my confidence. I was always asked how I would go to client's place. My manager actually made it so seamless for me. So you need to have the employee resource group and very powerful allies. Whatever I am, I owe it to the allies. Now coming to the question about misconceptions. So I actually answered your question, and that is the biggest misconception is how would we hear, how would we communicate?
Hmm.
Because people feel that just because you cannot listen on the phone, you cannot communicate. That is not. Now, to answer your question, so like I'll read and currently whatever you are speaking, I'm following by captions. So one way is to enable the captions in the Google meeting. The second way is to enable the live captions in the Chrome browser. So the live captions in the Chrome browser are much better because they will not reduce the screen real estate. Now some deaf people they actually rely entirely on a sign language. So
Yeah.
they need interpreters to express the thought.
By listening to you, Sandeep, I also want to share my own story. Like when I was in my class 10th, I also got an opportunity to work with my first job, which is for the t-shirt manufacturing company, where I was just a online marketing head. And I think I was at the age of 15, and I have a team of 4 people, which were, I think, double of my age, and they are working under me. So that was my first job, and that was my first experience to be an entrepreneur. And I think there I have decided, like, yes, I have an interest in the technology, yes, I have interest in many things, I have interest in singing, but like startup is like in my blood, so I need to do that. So from there I think I have decided to be an entrepreneur and start my own venture. So that was like my starting point. And during the journey, like, I have faced a lot of problems, like when you start working, you just can't focus on the studies. I think we as a corporate people can understand it better. When you get the money, it is very difficult to focus again on the studies. So because of that, I like failed in my class 12th examination, but there was a dream of my childhood that I want to become an computer engineer. So I stopped my job and again started studying for an IIT JEE examination and clear the UP government exam, and then gone to engineering college. So that was like a journey of a real techie have been started. So that and where I have started to understand the things and gone into the startup ecosystem. So that was about a small about my journey. Okay, now I have one more question, and this is for both Justin and Sandeep. So, firstly, Justin, to you, like, can you tell us some of the initiative or policies have you implemented in your organization to promote inclusivity and accessibility for employees with disability?
Okay.
Yep.
So just holding your question there and talking about dreams. And you also dreamt it sometime. I'm sure Sandeep also would have dreamt. Each one of us dream. I also, as a child, had a dream, but dreamt. I dreamt of something which I wanted to achieve. Right? As Ananth and Sandeep said, they have some disability. I too have a disability. Disabled by both my limbs, but it never stopped me from what I wanted to dream for. As a child, I used to dream of driving cars. I used to watch movies. I used to see cars. I was wondering if I could ever be able to drive because, the clutch, the brake, everything on the leg. But today, technology has changed so much. The car which I have now is the fourth one in my career. But coming back to your question, in CGI, yeah, like any other organization, some of them well advanced, as I said in the first question, of helping folks like us in the organization thrive. CGI also took the step of the first step of getting ourselves audited as an organization to see, are we accessible, are we ready, what are the yeses and nos that are available for people with disability in the organization. So there was a thorough audit which was done by an external agency, and findings were shared with the leadership team. We planned out some activities. Some of them are no compromise, needed immediate attention, like ramps, toilets, doors, and stuff like that. They needed immediate attention. They were immediately taken care of. Not that we didn't have it before. I'm working for this company for past 20 years. So if I'm able to move around, that means it is accessible. Doors are, disabled friendly. There are toilets which are disabled friendly, and there are ramps and stuff like that. But we as an organization also move on to the next level. We want to hire differently abled people, right?
And I want to take a moment to tell everyone that I am also a part of the UP government policy making team, where I am giving some of the pointers in creating the startup policy for 2025. So they are currently they are upgrading their policy. So I have added a point over there, like if any business has done any workplace audit specifically in Uttar Pradesh, so if they had done, we can give them an advantage in their, maybe in the ITR, in the MCA, Ministry of Corporation Affairs, whenever they just fill their whole annual turnovers, and if like any compensation, any kind of thing. So I have added a point over there, and also added, we should have some of the dedicated startups who only work towards the workplace uh, accessibility, assistive technologies. So I think if government can aware people about it, if government can tell people that this is the importance of it, definitely people like us will be the most happiest person. And like Giftable and other organization can also also get enough more opportunities to work with the organization, and we'll be more inclusive. I think that's the most important thing. Now, Sandeep, over to you. What do you think about some of the initiative and policies that has implemented in your organization?
Okay, I'll be short. So when I started work in my current organization, it was about 12 years back. Okay, so if you see my LinkedIn profile, you will see that I have changed many companies in the last 12 years. But that is not the truth. I haven't changed any company. My company name got changed 3 times. So back then we were Symantec, and it was a huge organization. And when I joined, there were no captions, and it was very hard for me to follow meeting. So I had to rely on a buddy. Who would apparently fill me in when the meeting got over. And then I slowly worked with the leadership team. So initially, I was the lone person who used to get when there was an all hands or town hall. Once it got over, I would be emailed a summary. And then slowly I began to work to make sure that all the videos, all the audio visuals, and everything has captions. And then we launched an ERG. And then after launching the ERG, we started actively hiring people with disability. So when we interview them, the first stage we keep it very simple. because we want to build that confidence. Like a person who is not able to listen. Okay, if you ask them a question and they will be like, sorry, can you repeat? So the confidence goes down because they really cannot even follow what you are speaking.
Yeah.
So then we write the questions for them. So initially we build their confidence and the screening round is simple. But once they pass the screening round, okay, the same set of challenges are applied as anyone else. Like if it is a person with disability, we don't ask them easy questions. Okay, whatever I would ask anybody else, the same set of questions are asked.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that it creates a level playing field. We provide them accommodation.
Hmm.
And accommodations we provide on a case-to-case basis. So like we have an ERG, so they sometimes reach out to me, or sometimes if it is out of my scope, and direct them to HR. So anyone who has any need of accommodations, we solve it on a case-to-case basis. And then we make sure that we hire people with disabilities because it is the most important step in making them independent, in making sure they lead a very fulfilling life.
My personal observation, uh, people sometimes say I like a disabled person, but I think always use person first language, like always put the person before the disability. Like for example, say a person with disability instead of a disabled person. I think this is small, some of the gestures can definitely impact, and like this emphasizes that they are the individual first, not defined they are the disability. I think that's a very important point to we can work towards the inclusiveness. Now, Justin, over to you again. You are a technology guy, and Sandeep is also a technology guy. But this is specific to you, Justin. That what role can technology play in enhancing your accessibility and inclusivity with the corporate environment?
Okay. So to add, I mean, to answer your question, Anand, you and
Yeah.
Sandeep are the technology guys. Okay. I come from a background where I support the technology guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am from HR. I'm from the talent planning. I support the technology guys. So I
You took
presume,
the security, you took the technology guys to the organization. Yeah.
yeah. So I think I can visualize the support that is required and how we can help the employees of the organization or my organization deliver better as a support function and help them in working day in and day out happily in an organization. That is what matters, right? So so while I come back of what we do in my current organization, that is CGI. But generally, I mean, if we look at overall as a technology, from my understanding of so many years of working for a technology company and how technology has changed over the years, um, each one of you are representatives of those, or you are live examples of how technology is helping each one of you in the kind of tools that you're using, in the kind of software that you're using, in the kind of portable wheelchairs, wheelchairs that you use, which helps you move within the organization. I would say within the organization is a small word.
Yeah.
I would say which will help you move across the globe, right? Like Krishna travels in air by air. I saw him in a video. I mean, there is a lot of technology assist. It doesn't happen simply, right? Ananth, you do a lot of activities yourself from a technology perspective, which helps people with disability to, leverage it, right?
Hmm.
And Sandeep, you yourself are using it day in and day out, right? I myself, I use it in my day-to-day activities, be it driving the car, which is technology equipped, high-end, using of software day in and day out. The Zoom call that we're doing now, sorry, the Google Meet that we're doing now is technology that is enabling people like us to come into this forum. Otherwise, many of us are sitting in one corner of the world and in our own cocoon of what we are doing. but this technology is helping us share, garner ideas, help us develop as an individual, help support organizations, right? So there are 3 or 4 pointers which I would want to call out on, from a technology perspective, how it has been helping us. There are a lot of, to start off with, for everyone when they come into an organization, we're talking about recruitment, and that's we all of us have gone through it, where the initial set of discussions, we felt that there is a biasness towards people who are abled and people who are disabled. So that itself, if things can be automated, there are a couple of organizations who I know of who have automated the organization process of shortlisting profiles, right? There is no, I don't look at your face, oh, I don't look at Sandeep, oh, I don't hear Sandeep, I don't look at Krishna, and then I shortlist the profile. I look at the skills that Krishna gets on the table. I look at the technology know-how that Sandeep or Ananth gets on the table, and the percentage each one of you have got, if that is a criteria for selection. And then, shortlist. After all, we all are people with abilities. We have been given opportunities to perform. We come and perform in an interview. We are given an opportunity to speak, right? And so, as long as this base of automated shortlisting of profiles is taken care of, there are many companies who do that. So that is the entry point itself, which I'm saying, if we can, put a cap to it and see how we can leverage that better with unbiased recruitment processes for members who want to join companies, not only in IT companies, but other companies, manufacturing, or across the working fraternity, right? Second one, what I'm talking about is what we are doing now. That is virtually collaborating using tools. There are a lot of platforms which are available where people like us can communicate and leverage of using technology to communicate our ideas, our how we want to do things differently. Probably I'm talking in English. If there are tools, Sandeep can let us know, where I'm talking in English, but Sandeep knows only Spanish, but he's listening in Spanish because of the tool that I have, which translates everything into Spanish, right? So, those kind of tools are available now in today's world. So, and collaboration platforms, I said Google, Zoom, stuff like these, Teams, which are available from IT giants who have rolled it out for all of us. It makes, and then, people like us who cannot go to office every day. I don't fall into that category. I want to go to office every day. Okay. So working from home, I don't want to go to office every day. I want to work from home a couple of days, take some rest, then continue working because I'm comfortable within the scenario which I am in. Working from home with technology, internet, you can make use of it, right? That's another platform which you can use. Then we're talking about accessibility towards workplaces for people with disability. Technology solutions which are available, which people design across the globe. You sit in one place and then you are able to virtually be there. There are some platforms which have come up. I forget the word that is been used for that, but there are technologies where you're as good as present over there. So that can be leveraged technology. Then we are also talking about employee engagement platforms, the ERGs and MRGs which are available, which engage with folks. And if I'm not comfortable talking face to face, I can sit back at home and I'm able to communicate pretty confidently because I'm in my atmosphere, my free space where I can talk about my experience to people, get feedbacks, record it, play it again, see what I want to do differently. That could be another. Then we're talking in today's world. Everything. Ananth, you can talk about because of your startup experience. Everything is analytics and reporting, right? A lot of these things doesn't have to be numbers. There are a lot of options where we can put them on charts. People who cannot speak can visualize what is available for them and make use of it as technology. You don't have to always talk to or for them to hear what you want to communicate. A pictorial representation of everything.
Yep.
What my annual turnover is, what I've achieved as profit, what are my margins. These kind of things can be pictorially represented today. We have enough tools available, analytical tools that are available where people can, utilize it, and people like us can utilize it sitting in one place and showcase our abilities of, funneling that data and picturing it out to folks across the globe, not only in India. So these are a few things which I feel over my experience, which will help in where technology can help, right? In CGI Kamse, we have run ideathons in getting employees inputs on accessibility and inclusivity across. And based on what they've given, we have selected a couple of them, and we are putting them into practice. So it is not only the other side of employees with disability. Organizations are also running ideathons and platforms like this to get inputs from folks and then roll it out for organizations. So
Agreed.
I'll stop there.
Yeah, agreed, Justin. And you have initiated a very good point. That is the use of assistive technology. And I think in a very general side, if we can provide like a screen readers, voice recognition software, ergonomic keyboards. So I think this can help and ensures the employees with different types of disabilities that they can perform all the tasks very effectively and efficiently. I think this can definitely help in their day-to-day life. Now, one last question, Sandeep, to you. So, on your personal experience, how do you advocate for yourself in situations where accommodations are not provided or understood? So, this is like a personal view of yours. So, what do you think about it, Sandeep?
Yeah, thank you for the excellent question. And Justin, thanks so much for listing so many excellent points on how technology acts as a multiplier and enabling factor. So I'll share a personal story about how I got into my current organization interviewing process. Okay, so that was about 12 years back. It was around 2012 when there was like WhatsApp was still trickling in India. I mean, not that common, and Truecaller didn't exist. Okay, so my friend and I, my roommate and I were both working in the same company, and both of us wanted to switch jobs. Okay, so both of us made our profiles in Naukri.com. He quickly got a call, and his interview got scheduled, and he got placed, and he was happy to go back to his hometown, Hyderabad. Now, I had put my mobile number in my Naukri profile, so whenever I would get a call, I would run to my friend, and he would talk on my behalf and talk to the HR. That Sandeep is a person with hearing impairment. He relies on lip reading, so I am talking on behalf of Sandeep. So every HR would say, we are an equal opportunity employer. Justin, I am not highlighting you, yeah? Okay? So we are an equal opportunity employer. We'll get back to you. And they never ever got back. So my friend's notice period was ending, and we were not sure what to do. So we hit upon a simple plan. In my Naukri profile, I put his mobile number. So that he would get the call meant for me. And then I wrote my skills on a sheet of paper, like Java, this, that, and a short project, and would keep that in his wallet. So the next time the call for me would go to him, he would simply take out the sheet, pretend to be me, and the trick worked like a charm. Within 2 days, a call got scheduled. So it was from Symantec. My current organization is Gen. So as I said, the company got renamed 3 times. So the HR asked for a telephonic round, and my friend said, no, I want a face-to-face now. Because he was pretending to be me. So obviously the telephonic round can't work. So the HR was like, in the summer heat of Chennai, you want to come for a face-to-face round? And my friend said, yes. So the interview got scheduled. The HR would call my friend, and my friend would text me. So as I said back then, nobody used Truecaller, and so they couldn't detect. So the HR would call, and like that, I had 4 rounds of interview that got finished, and the HR didn't find out. The technical panelist, obviously, I told them that I have hearing impairment. Please write the
Yeah.
question, and I requested them not to tell the HR. So they agreed. Now after 4 rounds, I had like total 7 rounds. Before the fifth round, my friend got called for a meeting. The HR began calling him event for a meeting, and I was sitting in the cave sipping coffee. So the HR saw me and said, "I'm calling you since 15 minutes, and you're not even answering the phone." Before I could figure out what happened, my friend came back, called the HR and said, "Sorry, sir, I was in the restroom. Where do I need to go?" The HR was like, "You are Sandeep talking?" I said, "Yes, sir, I've been talking with you all the time." The HR said, "Sandeep is sitting right in front of me, with one of you is giving interviews. And what the hell is happening?" And I said, "Sir, you see, your interview process is not inclusive. So we
Yeah.
have to find a way around the system. So I'm the one giving all the interviews. My friend is just facilitating." So the HR was amused. He said, "You guys are really awesome. You have a wonderful friend." And so then I cracked the interview. And as I mentioned before, step by step, we work to make the process more inclusive, like getting accommodations, enabling
Yeah.
captions. And for me, in the December of 2019, I discovered a tool called as Otter, OTTER, Otter Voice
Yeah.
Meeting Notes. And that has really given me the wings to fly. So every
Yeah.
time I go to a conference that is not accessible, I just sit near the speaker and then switch on the app.
Yeah.
And as long as you have a good Wi-Fi, it transcribes beautifully. It may not be
Yeah.
100% accurate, but it helps me to understand the whole gist. It's sort of like 95% accurate, and it's a beautiful tool.
Yeah.
So without the technology has really enabled me, making me really independent. And without that, it really would be very hard to continue what am I doing.
Th-
So I hope
Wonderful.
that
mm.
answers the question.
Yes,
Yep.
that's awesome, Sandeep, and wonderful your personal experiences. So I think we have now it is time to end our session now. So thank you for all your participation in today's session. Like that is the empowering voices, and I think Justin, Sandeep, and all our
Yourself.
giftable members have provided a very good points and empowered the voices, and it's been an enriching experience hearing from our esteemed speakers, Justin and Sandeep, and engaging with all of you on this very important topics. So, to like a few takeaways that I think everyone should take. That first is the awareness and education. I think that is a very important point to understand the disability inclusion in the foundation for creating an inclusive environment. Second, I'll say is the technology and innovation. I think leveraging technology with assistive devices can significantly enhance the lives of specially abled individual and definitely the foster greater independence. Third, I'll say is the inclusive policies and practices. I think Justin and Sandeep both have provided very good points, like what are the some of the policies and practices that can help to make the accessible workplace, to support the recruitment process, and is very crucial in promoting the equity and the diversity. And the last point I'll say is the community, that ERGs and the support. So building a support community where everyone feels valued and heard is essential. So I'll say at the last that always remember that change begins with each one of us, and whether it's our workplace, schools, communities, we'll all have the power to make the difference. Let's take the insights and inspiration from today's discussion and turn them into the actionable items that contributes to more inclusive and equitable world for everyone. So thank you once again to the speakers, to the giftable team. Special thanks, I'll say, to Krishna, Pratna ma'am, and Poonam for your opportunity for me and your active engagement. So let's keep empowering voices, advocating for disability pride and education, and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ananth. That was very nicely put. Thanks, Pratana and Krishna, for having me on this session. Right. Lastly, I want to say, and I think everyone will agree, someone put it somewhere, and then I picked it up. I said, I don't have a this hyphen ability. I have a different hyphen ability. Right. So with that, have a nice day, and thank you for having me on the call.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, Justin, Sandeep, and so Ananth, yourself being a speaker today and so beautifully moderated. Yeah, thank you so much, Ananth, for moderating so well and taking this session. Yeah,
I have taken all the points down from all of you. So much learnings. I think it's an ongoing journey, like Justin said. Like it's once you start, the journey is like every day you learn something or the other. So thank you so much. I learned a lot from all of you today. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ananth,
Bye-bye.
Ananth, your moderation was wonderful. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
And thanks to
Thank
the
you.
team,
Bye-bye.
Pratna and Krishna. And Poonam, thanks so much. And everyone, please make sure to join the giftable roundtable. The roundtable is a very beautiful session that is great for all of you. And make sure you don't miss it.
Thank you.
Thank you. It happens
Thank
every
you.
last
Bye.
Thursday. All of you can join.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep.